microphone to grants? No.
Hello, Xenia from Grants Department. We kind of lost our thing, so we had to improvise, and if someone has it, please send it back to us. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is the presentation about the identity of best, something that was quite triggering for most of you, I think, in PM. So here's the result. Okay. We're going to wait a bit more time, apparently. Okay. All right. So at the beginning of the year, we decided to tackle the identity of best, and we tried to identify if there were some inconsistencies within our identity. And we had a lot of discussion. We had it before PM through a survey. In PM, we had like a whole block where people were able to discuss the identity of best. And the idea was to try to find a direction if there was a need for it, and maybe revise the identity in this GA. Okay, so this is the way we did it. So we had a survey and discussion with LBGs. We had a poll before PM. We choose some topics that you discuss in PM, and after the LBGs prioritize the topics. And basically, we choose the topic of educational involvement and the position of best for this year, because it was something that received quite some votes, and we believe that it was the right one to choose for this year. Well, yeah, the main question is, our position is composed of 6, let's say, characteristics, and 2 of them are that we are non-representative and that we are non-political, and we were looking at whether we should change this or not. Because it impacts our educational involvement, but is our educational involvement activities more important than our position, or the other way around? So yeah, that's the, let's say, the scheme of how it would look like. So if you're representative, it means that you're representing all students of technology, for example, in Europe, meaning that when BEST would talk, we would talk on behalf of the students of technology of Europe. And we have the notion of apolitical, which means that we are not touching any political topics, and non-partisan, meaning that, for example, BEST could make some statements regarding themes close to politics. However, they would not endorse a political party. So the way we did it, we defined the impact of each potential change for the education involvement of BEST, and we try to look at how it would look like in the future for each of these change. We were planning to have a workshop that you can see in red because it was cancelled. We didn't have enough participants. It was announced quite late. And finally, we had a thread online on whether we should look for a change or not. In general, the conclusion is that BEST shouldn't represent students of technology because the size of our networks, for example, is not sufficient enough. But on the other hand, we had some words with the lawyer, and according to the lawyer, our position does not contradict the fact, for example, that BEST takes stances on education, for example, or do advocacy in educational matters, on the condition that the stances are approved by our network, basically. So if BEST would like to follow and the next board would like to investigate more about this, educational advocacy activities do not conflict with the identity of BEST, according to this year's discussion, and all the future actions will be decided by the future generations, basically. Any questions?
1, 2, 3. Any questions on the identity of best? Extra, Carolina.
Extra Carolina, could you please go back a few slides? Sorry. Oh, no, the next one. Yes, exactly. What do you mean the stances should be approved by the plenary?
So basically, the way it would go is, for example, let me give you an example. So the Educational Involvement Department believes that this year's topic would be something like I don't know, project-based learning. And for example, they want to work on project-based learning in the European higher education. So basically, they would propose the topic to a plenary, and the plenary would discuss it. And in the end, for example, BEST could make a stance, like I don't know, higher educational activities should incorporate more project-based learning in the teaching in order to improve the skills of the students. All right, and then the plenary would vote on it and basically approve whether BEST would defend this position or not. I guess, is Zenon here? No? All right, do you want to explain a bit how it works in CFES? I don't know, you just arrived, but we're talking how does advocacy work, for example, in CFES, and how do you do with your plenary?
CFS has two fingers.
Yeah, so I guess, so Zenon from CFES. So I guess for us, like we just kind of started to do advocacy more so, but the idea is we take like stances on things. So the first stance we took was, it's called 30 by 30, and it's because Engineers Canada took a stance of trying to get, it's like a goal of getting 30 female engineers licensed by 2030. So ours was get 30% female enrollment in engineering universities across Canada by 2030. So that was like the first stance we took, and then now going forward, any stances we take on issues, like before we take the stance, we're going to do research and like through surveys and like make sure that the stance is valid throughout the entire country, and then from there we will bring it to our plenary. We present the findings, and then we would take a vote on it, and it requires 100% like unanimous vote for it to be passed, and then from there we would take that and then see where we would take it. Normally we would work with our NGO partners to kind of work on the issues. We would never go to the government, but that's where we are right now.
Thank you, CFS, for the info. There's also two fingers from Extra Ola.
In simple words, an example from AEG, these policy statements look very similar like proposals. So they are prepared by, in BEST it would be Educational Involvement Department. Something like an article is prepared, and then the plenary on general meeting or any other event has to approve that BEST has a permission to submit it to the external world. So it looks more or less like a proposal about this voting thingy.
Thank you. I think those were very useful answers to Extra Carolina's question. We will have Krakow and then the RA team.
Okay, hi, Krzysztof from Krakow. Thanks for this presentation. So can you tell me more, like, what's the difference now between being like we are and political in the terms, like, if we can already take a stance, like what the lawyer said to us, then would going political but non-partisan actually allow us to make different kind of stance, or is there any point in doing that actually?
Actually, we were discussing this during Winter IPF, and most of the NGO partners were telling us that being non-partisan is actually, can be, how to say, damaging your image, especially towards companies, because being associated to politics is not necessarily something that they would like. And for example, we decided that it would not be beneficial for us to move to this direction, mostly because it actually does not help that much your impact, rather than it hurts your image.
Two fingers from Krakow.
Okay, thanks. But can we, for example, can our voice be heard in like EU Commission, like AEG does, without being political?
Well, no. I mean, we wouldn't go to like the European Commissions, but those kind of policies and policy stance does not only happen in, let's say, the building of like political parties and so on. We have a lot of conferences where if we take position papers, for example, we would have a higher impact than the scientific paper that we have, basically. So we would not collaborate probably with political, let's say, bodies, but still we would be in contact, for example, with FANI and CEFI, and those guys are the ones that actually are more in contact with the political bodies, and that would push our voice. Like, I mean, they would basically use our fundings to push them like further.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Krakow. We also had the two fingers from CFS. Please stand up. Yes.
Yeah, so Zenon from CFES. So I think maybe you're asking like, can you take stances and still and like be non-political? Is that what you're more so asking? No. Okay, never mind.
Okay. St. Petersburg, you had a one finger? Okay. Then the next question will be from the RA team, and then from Coimbra.
Okay, the matter of representativity is only because of size issues, or aren't there any legal implications around them?
Well, the thing is, for example, to be also representative of students, I mean, usually when you choose a representative, so basically it would also mean maybe that, let's say, BEST or the board of BEST would have to be chosen by all the students of technology in Europe, or like at least the one where we have a group. So usually those kind of representative bodies are more like students' council or these kind of things, because they represent the students of the university. On the other hand, BEST is not like the board of BEST or the board of even the LBGs is not being chosen by the students of the university, it's chosen by their members. So we do not claim ourselves to be representative. That's another reason, basically.
Thank you, RA team. Now we will have Coimbra, and then a question from St. Petersburg.
Fialho from Coimbra, but are you aware that stating that we cannot be representative of the students can have a huge impact in how the LBGs get their incomes?
Can you repeat, please? I'm not sure I got the point.
By stating that we cannot be representatives of the students of technology, if you are aware that it can have a huge impact on some LBGs' incomes.
Well, the thing is that this is actually part of our identity. We do not claim of representing the students of technology. So this is something that we are, and this is not something that we should change. I mean, this is part of our identity. So, I mean, it's not like I'm claiming it. It's in the identity document of BEST. And this is like how we define ourselves, basically.
Okay, but
Two
still,
fingers?
Yeah, but still you didn't answer directly. If you are aware of this part, that it can have this huge impact.
But we are, I mean, I'm not sure I get your point, because we are aware of it because it's our identity.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, I'm not sure I got your question.
Okay. Someone else might have to restate the question. We will first have St. Petersburg.
Martin, St. Petersburg. So can BEST somehow benefit if these changes will be done? I mean, maybe grants for EOEs or something like this? Thank you.
Yes, so a lot of our partners, like lots of strategic projects, for example, that we could join, have in the end like some kind of position paper, which is basically a paper where we said, basically, we believe that this change should happen. On the other hand, the papers that BEST make at the moment is simply like, I don't know, 40% of the students mentioned that this change is needed, while basically we would advocate and like, let's say, push forward for this change to happen. So it will help us to join projects where we could get, for example, more money or reach different kind of partners that we cannot right now.
Thank you. I see a two-finger from Ambassador. Smallest letters in the plenary.
Gustavo, Ambassador. Okay, I can tell for personal experience from discussing like a big discussion from different NGOs on this topic, that there were actually several different organizations, global organizations, which were political and some that were not political, and they were exactly doing the same thing, and there was no difference at all or consequences at all. I'm talking about advocating for different stances for these studies, like in terms of pharmaceutical or even for medical students, which are some of the ones that are most actively involved in this area.
Thank you for the two fingers, Ambassador. And now the final finger on the list is Extra Gianluca, and after that we will go to a new topic.
Thank you. So, there is any connection between the legal status of the LBG, the recognition letter proposal for the RAI, and the possibility to make a stance in the name of BEST?
Not at all. No, not at all. Each thing is very different. We do not need to be representing, I mean, or those proposals are completely different. So taking them one by one, in those stances, BEST is basically representing themselves and like its network of LBGs. On the other hand, like for advocating in those projects, they never ask for, I don't know, some recognition letters or some proof that we actually reach those universities. Usually we just like put those numbers out there that we reach this network, and this is how we are chosen as a partner or not. But those proposals are not related at all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gianluca. That was the end of the question round. Identity is arguably the most central concept in our organization. And if there is any kind of confusion on this topic, then that is something really important to be solved. I see that the Dragonflies have decided that the change actually does not have to be made, but this is in its own way actually a very important conclusion to a discussion that has consumed BEST for quite a long time. So it's nice to see an outcome on this topic. Thank you, Adrian. Technical from Cluj-Napoca. Can we get a microphone?
Timmy from Cluj-Napoca. I would like to ask why the schedule was changed, because I would have really liked to be here for BCD and PA presentation. And this is how we managed our time with the other delegate, and I would like to know why it has changed.
For this block, right now we didn't change anything. However, like we will continue with the flow. So we had identity, we will have internal events, we will have papers and their topics, we will have GBTs, and then we will have photo contest. As you notice, we moved BCD before coffee break, so there we will have pineapple presentation from Ogi, but it was supposed to happen on the 6th day. And then we will have IPFs, and then we will see about the PM presentation. The reason why we are changing is that I explained it before. PM presentation is not reached us yet, and we are trying to cover the schedule instead of it. If it reaches us, we will put it. If not, we will see what to do.
Cluj-Napoca.
Timmy from Cluj-Napoca, I understand, but it would be like for us to know, because this is how we split our time, and I would have really liked to be here for those presentations.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for the feedback. We are trying to fit the schedule into the day, but indeed it would have been nice to update everybody. Thank you. The next presentation is going to be from internal events, or about internal events, presented by Evie. So you can come to the middle.
Hi. Okay. Second presentation for me today. It's my day. This one is about internal events. So why do we have internal events? Internal events is an official working method that we use inside the organization. It also increases the efficiency. Rather than working online, we meet for a few days and we work all together. It's also a nice way for you to get inspired and motivated and gain new ideas. And last but not least, it's a way to increase international involvement among members. Apart from this, it's also a challenge for LBGs to organize this kind of events. They are used also to improve a specific aspect. So in case you want to host an internal event, good morning. So in case you host an internal event, you can also develop your LBGs. The people that are there can provide you some training sessions, advanced BKT, or any other session, depending on the event. You can develop your members through that. And of course, you will meet also internationally involved people, interact with them, and have fun all together. Who takes care of internal events? So who is the body responsible for internal events? Any ideas? It's not Evie. So it's not the Vice President for Projects, because now we have a new structure, and internal events are not under the Vice President for Projects. I'm stating that, please tell it to the rest of the people, because if one more person sends me an email about internal events, I will go loco. So what does this mean? Someone needs to take care of them. How we did it this year, each body was taking care of their own event. So depending on the event, the relevant body was taking care of them. If, for example, it was some kind of CMOR workshop around projects, I was taking care of them. It was something about educational involvement, the president was taking care of them, and so on and so forth. So there is one, we used one body to coordinate the whole process. It was me, that's why you saw so many emails from me. However, I'm not dealing with anything more apart from coordinating the process from the board side and the project-related events. So depending on the event that you are interested in, you can find the relevant body and ask the questions directly to this person. Is it clear? Yay. So we have now 3 internal events looking for a host. The call is already out. I said it a week ago. I will send a reminder today or tomorrow. Which are these events? The first is RAM, Regional Advisors Meeting, which is planned to happen in the beginning of August. The second one is GA'17, which is planned to happen in the end of August, beginning of September. And last but not least, TTA3, Technical Tutors Academy, which is planned to happen in the beginning of September. So if you want any more information about these events, you can approach either Florian when it comes to RAM or training department when it comes to the training events. So if you have any questions, you're not sure what this means, how many days, how many people, just approach these people, get more information. It's much easier to do it live rather than go back home and then continue with emails. And you still have more than a week after GA to apply for them. So you have time to go back home, discuss with the LBG, and take one of them. Small reminder what to include in this application. You need to include your motivation for hosting this event. Why do you want this specific event? What do you want to gain out of it? Also, you should include some kind of plan for accommodation and for meals, like we already talked with dorms, or we will host participants in our house. And are you planning to cook for them, or what are they planning to eat? Also, you should mention how many people around the LBG are planning to work on this event. Is it going to be 20 people focused on this event? Is it going to be 5 of them, 20 of them? Just for us to have a bit of an estimation what kind of impact it will have on your LBG. You should also mention the proposed dates, because normally we have some kind of time period. Inside this period, you can host the event. So you can say, we prefer to do it in this week, because in this week we have our course, for example. And last but not least, in case you're applying for financial aid, make sure you use the budget template and not just a random budget that you created in a spreadsheet, but a specific template that is uploaded online. And some news. This year we updated the internal event handbooks for organizers. So basically we understand that you need some more information when you want to apply for the event. And also you need more information when you're selected to host the event. And in this handbook, you can get all this information. So which handbooks we have? We have the handbook for GMs, and then we updated the handbook for IPFs, train shops, traps, TTAs, it's quite adjusted, and also for regional meetings. There is quite some more new and accurate information, and I suggest you check them. How to do that? You go knowledge, organization, and then it says something that I cannot read. If someone could read, it would be quite helpful. Okay, I think it says internal event organizers or something like that. And there you see, I really cannot see. Guys, can anyone see and read it for me? Internal events, thank you. And what does it say there? It says organizers handbooks. So you click there, organizers handbook, and what do you find? What do you find? You find the handbooks. They are in PDF, they are in Word. You can open them and check all the information. And for the whole year, we had 54 internal events. We already planned 7 more. And I want to say a big thank you, because we couldn't have done it without you. So thanks to all these LBGs that hosted internal events. I would like you to stand up and upload them, because we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Avi. Are there any questions or comments? We have LBG Delft.
Thank you for your presentation. Sorry, Vicente, Delft. I think when sending the call for, this is a statement, when sending the call for a host for internal event, the internal event should be more described, and this is a feedback for the board during the communication on like setting the expectations of the LBG on what the LBG can get and what not. I think things should be more clearly stated and discussed with the relevant bodies, because I think Delft hosted now Be Proud 16, and yeah, it was a very good event for us, but unfortunately it's a lot of things that we thought that we were going to get, we couldn't get it because the event happened in a different way of what we expected. So please make sure that when you communicate with LBGs, you tell LBGs the appropriate information so that LBGs can make the decision to apply for an event properly. Thank you.
Thank you, and I suggest you discuss with training department in case you have any more specific feedback, since more train shops are coming, or come find Mills and the board, who is responsible for training events from the board side, to be a bit more specific maybe, so we can improve it in the next calls. Thank you.
Thank you. I see. Okay. Thank you, Del, for the constructive feedback. Are there any more one fingers? I see there are not. Yeah, and Best is very good at working online and virtually, but there is really no replacement for having a flesh and blood event where everybody can get together. I think you are seeing the difference here on this GA, just how much more intense this is compared to everything that happens online in the previous 6 months. And yeah, it's very courageous that a lot of LBGs are hosting them, and I hope many will continue to do in the future. Thank you. Thank you. The next presentation is going to be papers and their topics from Hania from EduID.
Hello, it's me again. Okay, first of all, I would like to invite in the middle everybody that participated in writing a scientific paper now or in Educo. I'm looking at you, Matthew. Matthew, come to the middle. Hashtag no pressure. So, what I would like to say in the beginning is that yes, I will talk about scientific papers, but the main thing I want to talk is their topics. All of you, most of you know that we write scientific papers, but you don't know what topics we tackle. So, first of all, why do we write them? We present the papers at a conference, present our work to higher educational academical community. We disseminate our activities and research outcomes to all the international bodies, which means educational organizations, universities, or higher educational institutes. We, with that, gain recognition for our work that we did on EOEs or in any other activity. Also, we increase the credibility of our organization. So which paper teams do we currently have? WEAV, ICL, and CEFI. These are the people who are writing them. Okay, so let's talk a bit about WEAV. We actually have somebody that is in the paper team, which is Clemente, so after, in questions, he will answer them. The topic of World Engineering Education Forum for the conference that we are writing now is the skills gap and interdisciplinary curriculum and students' perspective of it. Basically, the results they are focusing on are companies' expectations versus educational set of skills that graduates get from their university experience. So basically, students don't come prepared to their work. They don't have the skills that the companies require. Solution for that is joint programs. So universities and companies can cooperate in creating a curriculum. Another solution is the combination of technical and socio-economical subjects into a single degree. conclusion that they made is that all stakeholders have to strive for better synergy in shaping the curricula and of engineering programs. These are their resources, so basically the references. CEFI paper team. If you don't know, CEFI is European Society for Engineering Education, and they make a conference every year that best attends, regardless the paper is submitted or not. So we are writing European students' perspective on self-directed learning and the role of the professor. So self-directed learning classes are getting more and more popular, and in them, like, the professor is not a typical lecturer, but is seen as a guide, motivator, and a social and emotional supporter. So the professor should have the pedagogical and technological knowledge, which means that the conclusion we made is that it has become a major dynamic way of acquiring knowledge for students, that mentoring should be necessary because it is beneficial more than just having a lecturer, and the role of a professor will shift from lecturer towards the mentor. ICL will be presented by Dragana.
Hello. So I'm member of this paper team this year. So ICL is the name of the conference, and the topic and name of the paper is the professor's competence through the perspective of STEM students. STEM means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which is most of best members and universities where we are. So the main topics are research in engineering pedagogy, engineering pedagogy education, and learning culture and diversity. The results that we talk about are that how the professor's competence are perceived by students in STEM education, and the conclusion which we reach is, we try to reach is to distinguish which competences of professors are more important and which should be reinforced in order to raise the quality of transmitting the knowledge from a professor to a student. So the resources that we used were a couple of reports from Events and Education, and what is different this year is that for this paper team, we're actually doing a survey, which is conducted in 11 universities where these LBGs are. So many thanks to them for taking part of it. By now we have around 150 entries in the survey, so I encourage you to promote it even more. This goes only to these LBGs. We hope that in the future we'll be doing European-wide surveys, and the impact of educational involvement thus will be much increased.
So if you are interested in writing a paper and tackling these topics, quit procrastinating, work on your writing, and join us. So you can find papers on the link above. We already talked about that in the international rally. You can also subscribe to EduID Best, so you can follow what we are doing and what are we creating. And the most important thing, you can join a paper team. If you didn't know that we do this, if you didn't know what are we actually discussing about and what outcomes are we processing, maybe now you are interested a bit more, so just join us. Any questions?
1, 2, 3. Are you coming back, or do you want me to be speaker for this time? Okay, we are having our speaker back. Okay, so do you have any questions to Hania? Okay, one finger from Bratislava.
Hi, Branislav from Bratislava. So I want to ask, like, when you say that we can join a paper team, it means that you can join the paper teams that are right now, or new ones?
Okay, so no, the paper teams are already established, the ones right now, and we are finishing our work. The thing is that we always have open calls for paper teams, and in around 1 month there will be another call for a paper team. So if you're interested, join. And if I can add up, regarding the topic is not decided before the paper team is made. So the people that are actually a team, they later decide on which topic they want to tackle.
Okay, again, one finger from Bratislava.
All right, so I also want to ask, like, how experienced should be the people for applying, and which positions they can get? I know there's a coordinator and then normal members. So how experienced should be the member applying for this?
Okay, the experience of a member, okay. So you don't have to be experienced in scientific writing in BEST itself. We also consider if you wrote something on your university. For example, I know probably a lot of you already done your thesis. But also the paper teams have experienced and unexperienced members, so you can develop through writing in BEST also.
Thank you, LBG Bratislava. Now we have one finger from OBG Groningen.
Hi, Duncan, OBG Groningen. How successful is BEST at writing papers, and how many papers have you got published, roughly?
Okay.
I think last year I was doing some statistics and checking. If I'm not mistaken, I think we have maybe 20, 30 by now. And in the past 3 years, let's say that this activity has been more stable. We usually have 3 to 4 publications each year, meaning that they're accepted at conferences.
Thank you, OBG Groningen. Now we have one finger from LBG Bratislava.
All right, Bratislava is the last question. How long does it take for a research paper to be finished?
Okay, I can give an example of CEFI that we are writing now. So we gathered in February. First, what we did was we decided which topic do we want to tackle, so we had online meeting. When we started writing, we first wrote abstract because it was necessary and the deadlines are quite fast. And now we are still writing it and we are submitting first draft tomorrow, which means it's not the end. Once when you submit first draft, you can still have an improvement. And there are one more draft, and then you have the final version where you actually have this, how is it called? Camera ready paper, which is actually the one that you are presenting on a conference. And for example, CEFI, we have conference in September, so it's quite long time.
Thank you, LBG Bratislava. After this, that much interest, I hope to see you in the next paper teams of Edu ID. Now we have a finger from Extra Gabor.
Thank you, Extra Gabor. I would like to ask that, as you said, like you have quite stable 4 to 5 paper per year. Have you considered to ask for European Research Fund for this?
Okay, so we usually take part into projects which are funded, and they're also concerning research in higher education, technological education. So we kind of have publications connected to that in the past, but no, we haven't considered this exactly. I'm not sure in detail what you refer to, but...
Two finger from Extra Gabor.
Like like you are researching paper, like you are doing research, and like the European Commission has specified grants for this, and like in the academia, it's quite common that if I have a specified topic, I'm applied for funding.
Yeah, this we haven't explored by now. Research, no, just research specific, no, I believe. I'm not sure if the strategic projects were defined thematic years as that. I think not. But we can look into this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Extra Gabor. We have one finger from OBG Groningen.
Hi, Duncan, OBG Groningen. How strong is the impact of the research papers on BEST and also on technology itself?
Okay, so the thing is, things don't change really quickly and you cannot have super huge impact. The thing what we do is we present them at the conferences where we have higher educational institutes and deans and professors. It's a two-way communication. So it's up to them when we present something if they will accept it and if they will consider implementing it somewhere. But even if they do consider implementing it, it in the end depends on the professor itself if he will implement some, I don't know, a new method in teaching or something like that. So you cannot really measure it. I don't know if Dragana wants to add up.
Okay, so we've had some examples that professors were coming to one or two events on education consecutively, and they were kind of gathering the feedback on their teaching methodology. So we can say that there is kind of a smaller scale individual impact. But Adrian was presenting about the identity and that we can actually have policy work, and usually the biggest impact that we can have after doing the research and after checking what students how students see the future and better education is through these policy papers with partner organizations.
Are there any more questions? Okay then. So thank you so much, Educational Environment Department. Please stay there for the photo, I think. And in general, we are trying to gather the opinion of thousands of students, and it would be impossible without the help and support of the Education Environment Department. So we really want to thank you for helping us to reach a lot of students and gathering so many ideas. Thank you.
I see someone is running to be speaker at an upcoming GM. We have a finger from Thessaloniki.
Jason in Thessaloniki. I need an excuse to leave the plenary for PRSO to present it. Okay.
Yes, those people can go. And we have a technical from EduID.
Yeah, also, I
yeah,
need to be.
all those people can go. Thank you. The next session will be about GBTs from the training department. And Xenia will be presenting the topic. Come to the middle.
So, I'm going to talk to you about GBTs, but first I would like to invite to the middle all the participants of GBTs 2016-2017, all the hosts of GBTs of this round, and all the trainers who delivered there. Chop chop.
Can we get some more mattresses, please?
Well, seems like GBTs reached quite some people this year, right? Okay. So what is a GBT, you might ask? So GBTs are a series of events that are gathering local board members who were freshly elected from several LBGs that are nearby to get them trained on the soft skills and give them the essential knowledge that are needed for their future mandate. And it also enables team building, sharing, and cooperation between LBGs. So it's a very short event, like 2, 3, sometimes even 4 days, when they're getting training on soft skills and some more sessions that are optional, like team building, sharing, and stuff like this. So, and JBTs are fulfilling our first bullet in the training strategy, also in the old one and an updated one. It's leaders of best trained properly. So with all rounds happening, we can target around 475 people, which was basically boardies from all LBGs in BEST. And I will do some statistics and some data from this round of GBTs because it has finished in December 2016. So finally, for the first time in the history of BEST, all 15 GBTs happened, and it's actually a huge success. Thank you for this round of applause. Well, we have reached 67 LBGs that participated in this round of GBTs. Also, it's like approximately 300 besties that were trained this year with the effort of GBTs, and 55 trainers were delivering on this event. And the highlight of this year was the cooperation between BEST and Bonding, having GBT Area 1 hosted by Bonding in the Baumhaus, and also having Bonding board members getting trained together with besties. And approximately 50 people got trained, and also trainers team was consisting from BEST trainers and Bonding trainers, coordinated by BEST trainer. And as for the next round, what's going to be done? Yeah, so people are working on GBTs as a GBT advisor who is part of the training department. It's this year it's Titi from Ankara. You might know him for this name. And also RAs are working on GBTs because they're helping us out with finding hosts and informing LBGs. Also, the whole body of BEST training department is responsible for them to make it to happen, and LBGs themselves because they host GBTs. So the timeline is the following. From the March until the middle of May, we're evaluating the JBTs. I guess the surveys have reached you about the evaluation of how was the JBT for you. Also, the same were sent to the trainers teams that delivered, so the organizers, the participants, and the trainers. And then when the evaluation is done, we're gonna start host finding and dates defining. And there's gonna be calls sent for the hosts in all the areas of JBTs. And in the end, from end of July, beginning of August until December, all GBTs are going to happen. And most of them happen before PM. Only PM, we have only 2 Greek and Balkan ones. But why should you host a JBT as an LBG? Well, JBT bringing around 40 leaders to your LBG, which sets some kind of environment of improving, developing, and building a strategy for the next year in your LBGs. Then 46 trainers are coming to your LBG, meaning that your LBG can also receive some training before or after the event. And also, you take some regional or GBT area spirit, and you're having fun there in the sessions, cooperating, sharing, and stuff like this. Then, why to participate in the GBT? Well, you gain a lot of essential knowledge for your mandate as a freshly elected body. You learn how other LBGs work and bring positive examples in your LBG, share knowledge and practices. So you're actually going out of your bubble. And then you create a strong board bond within your board and with the boards of other LBGs that actually can help you throughout your mandate in the cooperation and friendships that were created in this event. And basically, that's an offer that you can refuse with all the benefits that I said. And if you have any questions, you can just approach me, Arnulf, or all the people that are in the middle, because they have experienced this event. And afterwards, you can reach Tight Tits, and we will basically reply to all your requests regarding GBTs. So thank you for your attention, and any questions?
1, 2, 3. Are there any questions? There is one
Mattress.
from St. Petersburg on the mattress.
Martin, St. Petersburg. Firstly, I want to say thank you because GBTs is really cool. But I have a question. Evaluation form was, and also it's on the timeline, was sent like in March, which is really, really late. I think our organizers just couldn't remember what was happening there. So what do you think, why it's happening? And do you want to maybe next time send it a bit earlier? Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Well, because basically this year was the first one that we wanted to make this overall the standardized evaluation, so we were spending some time to create this thing. Also, we introduced the GBT advisor kind of a position in training department, so we also spent some time on defining it and finding the person who is going to deal with this. Is it going to be the training supervision team, or is it going to be the separate person? Should we send the call and stuff like this? And we also had some quite some operational work related to events that we were launching, for example, like TTA. So we were spending our resources on doing the operational work, and afterwards, yeah, I mean, I understand your concern, I agree with this, and I hope for the next year, like this developed system that we launched this year will work better, and everything will be sent way more earlier.
I saw 2 fingers on the mattress as well, yeah.
Papa? Yes? Yeah, actually, as former coordinator of LGBT, there should be like also a form that your coordinator sent to you as LBG host, where you can like state some opinion and things like that. It was in the handbook GBT coordinator. So
Thank you, Gianluca.
I'm sorry if you didn't reach it.
Okay, thank you. I see one other finger from the mattress. You'll have to state your name and LBG, please.
Diana from Yash. I'm wondering when will the call for the coordinators of GBT will be?
Okay, so as all the LBGs are, all the GBTs are happening in the different timelines, so the calls go separately for the GBT coordinators, and usually it goes something like 1.5 months before the event. And the main delays that are connected with the calls being sent are the host finding, because, for example, for Armenian GBT, it's easier because you do the circle, you do the rotation with the host, but for some other areas we have to find the host, and in the end the timeline of the call can be way shorter before the event.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further one fingers? You have a one finger? No, sorry. Okay. Well, then we will leave the question round here. Supporting the local boards of BEST is one of the best ways of making the organization stronger. I guess I don't have to tell you that as LBG delegates, because so many of you have actually gone to GBTs, and from the general smiling faces, I think they very much enjoyed it and also appreciated the experience. So thank you very much for training department for doing the first complete set of GBTs. And while we have so many people already standing up, I believe Oscar can help us with a wake-up game.
Indeed. So after this picture finishes, everybody else please also join the middle of the plenary.
And next, we're going to stay to a pretty light session because we're going to have the photo contest by Jurate from PR department. So please come to the middle. I'm excited.
Hello, I'm Yorita from PRD, and today you will find out who are the winners of Best Spring Photo Contest. And, whoops, okay. So we had 6 categories, we had 209 photos, and who are the winners? We will find out. So for every single winner, I will say 1, 2, 3, and please clap, okay? Okay, so for career support, we have from Best Choice, Irina Melnish from LBG Yashi. 1, 2, 3. And for audience choice, we have Alona Polishuk from LBG Lviv. 1, 2, 3. Okay, for engineering competitions, we have Best Choice for Bogi Durai for LBG Budapest. 1, 2, 3. And for audience choice, we have João Pestana from LBG Almada. 1, 2, 3. For learning, we have Best Choice for Monica Shibor from LBG Krakow. 1, 2, 3. And for audience choice, we also have Monica Shibor from LBG Krakow. 1, 2, 3. For season courses, we have Best Choice Alejandro Burgos from LBG Madrid. 1, 2, 3. And for audience choice, we have Haris Janelos from LBG Thessaloniki. 1, 2, 3. For spirit, we have Best Choice from Maria Garabinska from LBG Gdansk. 1, 2, 3. And for audience choice, we have Kristina Govasu from LBG Athens. 1, 2, 3. And the last category for traveling, for Best Choice, we have Bogi Durai from LBG Budapest. 1, 2, 3. And for audience choice, we have Yara Tatarska from LBG Sofia. 1, 2, 3. So congratulations to all the winners. The diplomas for photo contest winners will be put on your tables during the rest days of GA. And in case you didn't participate, the next photo contest is waiting for you. So just wait for it. And we can't wait to see all your photos in the next photo contest. Congratulations to all the winners.
And thank you to BR department for looking at all the nice pictures. For the next presentation, we are moving one presentation from day 6, I believe, which it was normally supposed to be on the voting day. It's going to be about Pineapple Project. The reason we're moving it ahead is because the voting day is looking to be quite tight. As you see, there are a lot of board candidates, so we are trying to stay in time on that day by doing this today. So Pineapple Project will be presented by Ogi. You can come to the middle.
Well, thank you. If Anna can also come to the middle, as well as Zuri and whoever else is here from Aveiro. Sarah? No? Okay. Okay, let's begin. Hi, everyone. My name is a code. Is anyone else here from Aveiro? Run! Okay, let's start. So, Hi again, my name is Augie, and I'm the Pineapple Support Team Coordinator. So what is Pineapple? What is Pineapple and what is the idea behind Pineapple? So Pineapple is a tool, or providing a framework for an LBG to help them with the realization of their event. So this is done by introducing a support team with positions that are deemed needed by the organizing LBG. The actual Pineapple team provides the support through feedback, help with planning, and general knowledge with the organization of the event, project management. The decisions themselves are on the organizing LBG. So the Pineapple support team is there to guide them, but the actual final decision is on the LBG themselves. So why was it introduced? As the quality of our projects increased, there seemed to be a lack in their diversity. Over the years, the same projects have been happening very good, and they are continuing to be being very good, but very few new ideas are being introduced. Hence the idea of Pineapple. So how does it work? There's a voting procedure. The LBGs that want to host an event or want to apply for the help of Pineapple apply. And in PM Warsaw, three applied, two were introduced, two LBGs were running. That would be LBG Stockholm for CAPS, as well as LBG Aveiro for Innovation Now. And a point system was used to determine the final outcome. So, as you can see here, there was a rather nice voting procedure. So you get 5 chances to vote. You can either give 0 points to both, 2 points to just one, or 2 points and 1 point to both. Then, as you can see, CAPS got 65 points, Innovation Now got 120 points, and Innovation Now was chosen for the Pineapple project. The structure of the team. Due to the flexibility of the event, the choice the LBG has to make, the positions of the team are susceptible to change depending on future events or depending on the needs of the LBG. For this year, we had Pineapple Coordinator, we had CR Support Responsible, Grant Supporter, and Image and Design Supporter. So what's the job of the Pineapple Coordinator? He coordinates and assures the communication between all bodies involved within the project. So that means the LBG, the board, the department. He also advises LBG whenever it may be needed and be the right hand of the Innovation Now coordinator. So basically, whatever they need, I'm here. Corporate Relations Supporter is Paulina. She provides the contacts and helps with international companies, feedback and help with events, booklets and bundles, as well as support and feedback with any corporate relations needs the LBG may have. Mateusz, who is not currently in the plenary, but he is an extra here. He provides contacts to help with international PR, facilitates the communication with the PR department as well as the design department, and helps with the creation of the event's PR strategy. Finally, we have Sasha, who is the grant supporter. She researches and analyzes international grants, feedbacks, and supports the application, and supports any additional feedback that LBG may need with the grant. So what's been doing, actually? The team was formed during March, just before regional meetings. So far, 2 OMs were had with Aveiro, with the second one being with both the core team of Innovation Now, as well as the support team. And currently, the methods of communication are being determined with the departments, and also working with Aveiro on their list of tasks as well. So, now I would like to invite Aveiro to talk a little bit more about Innovation Now and where they are now.
So, about Innovation Now. Innovation Now is a symposium on technological and innovation issues. And it's an event when the participants, the students, can share their ideas, their projects with the companies and also with the university representatives and other students. So the event, the content of the event, it's not well defined yet, and we have some flexibility to change it based on what based in what we did last year. We had some speeches from local, not national speakers about innovation and how can we be innovative in our professional lives, and we how can create something new, and also speeches about the innovation in some projects or some areas. We also had some workshops and case studies, and we also had a pitching contest organized in collaboration with Microsoft, and also a cocktail network that is a space when the participants and the companies can share ideas and be together. Okay, some photos from the last edition. Okay, so what we did since last PM. The MEO was elected, and the core team as well. Okay. Now we are trying to find an accommodation and start working on branding of the event. And also we are doing some brainstorming about the type of the sessions, the activities we will have, and the content of the event. So I will present now the core team. It's Miguel, the main organizer. Bogdan, the content responsible of the event. Carlos Arinto, the information technological responsible. Joanna Canek, the marketing responsible. And about the FER responsible, we extended the deadline 3 times, and anyone applied. So now our idea is to divide how much tasks as possible to our FER coordinator, MEO, management, and also by Pineapple team. Okay, we also have two people from the board that are currently support the event and help all the core team. They are Miguel Oliveira, our president, and Philip Silva, our treasurer. So that's it. If you have any questions, any feedback to give us, please do it. Thank you.
1, 2, 3. Are there any questions? I see there's one from LBG St. Petersburg. And then one from Moscow.
Martin, St. Petersburg. Maybe I didn't see. Do you have a logistic responsible?
Not yet. We also elected these 4 people, and we, of course, we will have a logistical responsible, but I think that the deadline for the call is already decided, but I don't remember. But it will be I don't know, like May or something, since the event is only in November. Okay.
Thank you, St. Petersburg. Now Moscow, and then Extra Gabor.
Hello, Alexander from Moscow. Thank you for your presentation. From the last year experience, how many companies participated in this event, and how high was the interest from the companies to participate?
Thank you for your question. It's a hard question for me because I didn't prepare so much this presentation, since it will only be in 2 days after. But we had activities in collaboration with 3 companies, And we also had companies that that attended to the event to make some presentations about themselves. Maybe I can't give you a number, but around 10 or something. I don't know, but I can also check it and I tell you later.
Moscow has 2 fingers.
Yeah. What about the second part of the question? How high was the interest of companies to participate? Like,
I don't know how to answer it, sorry. Because I'm not involved in last year in this part.
Thank you, Moscow. Extra Gabor has cut, which means at the moment we have no 1 fingers left. Oh. I saw a sign fly through the air. I think St. Petersburg has another question. Can we get a microphone to St. Petersburg?
So yeah, Martin, St. Petersburg. Since this event will happen in November, will you somehow update us before PM? Do you have any ideas?
Okay, for our part, it's completely possible to update, maybe for email or something. Yes, I think that is a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you, St. Petersburg. I see we have 2 fingers from Ogi.
Yeah, sure. As a project, we'll also be reporting on the progress of the project, and there will be probably a final report at PM. So yeah.
Okay, we have 1 more from Moscow. I see the Russian LBGs are very interested in pineapples.
hello once again, Alexander from Moscow. Do you want to focus in the promotion of event only on students from your university, or you want to invite some external students from Aveiro, and will you be organizing it inside of a university only?
No, this project is going to be for all students. Anyone can apply.
Thank you, Moscow. I see no more 1 fingers. Services innovation is a very important concept in BEST, and as you know, everything that's cool to do with services deserves its own special kind of fruit. So the Pineapple project is a very recent way of letting LBGs really focus on services that make a difference and where they can experiment. And it takes courage to experiment, so thank you, Aveiro, for your project, and Ogi for presenting the project. Thank you. And I see we have a technical from Khania. And then we will proceed to the presentation about IPFs.
Not really sorry if this is technical. I would like to give a huge apology to the whole plenary for the absence of both of LBG Khania's delegates. There must have been a misunderstanding about the parallel sessions. So we're really sorry, and that won't happen again.
Thank you very much. Okay, then we will proceed to the IPF presentation. And thank you, Khania, for the honesty. I think it's something we can all emulate.
Hi, another presentation for me today. This one is about IPFs, or International Projects Forums. So, what are IPFs and how many IPFs do we have? As of this year, with the matrix structure, we have 2 IPFs. Summer IPF, which happens in middle of August, and Winter IPF, which happens on the middle of February. They are both coordinated by the Vice President of Projects from the board side. They last for 4 working days, plus arrival departure, and around 70 participants. And after IPFs, traditionally we have a developers meeting, so IT people can code some of the changes that we agree to have during IPFs. And this is me. So why do we do summer IPF? We do summer IPF in order to start the whole year of the organization. We are kicking off a lot of projects. We are setting and finalizing the plan, the 1 AAP of BEST. and we're discussing many other hot topics. And why do we do Winter APF? We are moving closer to finishing the year. We are finalizing and working on projects. We are finishing the AAP of BEST, the department AAPs, and of course, we give birth to many new ideas that can inspire people and maybe can play a big role in the next year. So some words about Winter APF Tallinn. It happened in the middle of February, a bit outside Tallinn. We had quite some snow. It was fun. We had 68 participants, including 4 NGOs. Once again, it lasted 4 working days, and we had 52 sessions in total. We also have 2 training sessions and 3 tutorials. And all minutes and reports were uploaded almost on time, but in any case, we have all of them, so that's quite good news. And for the first time, at least this year, we had a delegate coming from CFES. It was Lori, who is responsible for CSO from the side of CFES, right? Yeah. Yes. And now some words about Summer APF. Summer APF will take place 16th to 21st of August in Podgorica. We will also have an IT developers meeting, as I said before, and stay tuned after GA, because a few weeks after GA, we'll open a call for participants. Anyone can apply. It doesn't matter if you're internationally involved or if you are a local person. We are looking for people with different profiles, and of course, we also want local people there to give the local perspective. So check the call and apply. And before we close, congratulations to LBG Tallinn for an amazing IPF. And good luck to LBG Podgorica for an amazing IPF to come. That was it. Do you have any questions?
1, 2, 3. I see some questions popping up. First one is from the RA team, and then LBG Brno. Stand up, please, RA.
Bonnie, RA. This is a shout out for the LBGs. As well as said in their presentation, there are various ways to make your voice heard, and IPFs is definitely one of them. So apply and make your voice heard.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you for the statement. Now LBG Brno and then LBG Delft.
Hello, Samuel from the Brno, from Brno LBG. I would like to ask, what's the average budget of an IPF?
Maybe an organizer of IPF can reply to this question.
Maybe also plus.
Maybe LBG Skopje or LBG Tallinn or LBG Podgorica or.
I cannot see that sign, but I believe it's Podgorica, yes?
Hello, Dennis from Podgorica. I'm the coordinator of our IPF, and the average cost is anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000. Our cost is classified. Sorry.
Basically, it depends a lot on what kind of conditions you provide, what you get from your university. The event is 4 working days, plus pre-post and a developers meeting afterwards. In the main IPF, you have 70 participants, so you need an accommodation for them. So I guess it can depend a lot from country and from conditions to conditions.
Thank you, Bruno. 2 fingers.
And is there any financial support from the international best?
Naya?
Okay, Naya from the board. Mainly, the financial support can be from 3,000 to 3,200 if the, let's say, the budget is approved. So, yeah, mainly this is it.
Okay, thank you, Bruno. By the way, that was not really a 2-finger, but as there are not that many questions on the list, it's okay. Delft.
Vicente from Delft. So from the extra participants that are accepted to this event, how many are already internationally involved, and how many are like just done some job only in the local level? Thank you.
From the extra participants, it should be around half-half. Now it's a bit more difficult to differentiate because now everyone can get super involved in projects straight away. So even in 2 months in bed, you can get in a project. So it depends if you count it or not. But in IPF, I think we had at least 7 participants with 0 international involvement in any area, at least.
Okay, thank you. I think Delft has cut the other question. Okay, then he has another question. You can go.
Okay, so how you see this number is going? Like, do you think it's good? Do you think we should like get more local people, less local people?
I think it depends a lot on the topics that you have to discuss in every IPF. So depending on what you are working on, you might need more international people or less international people. However, the side of LBGs is important no matter what you decide to do. We always need input for LBGs. So my personal opinion, I would not go below this number. However, of course, it depends on the situation.
Thank you, LBG Delft. If there are no further one fingers. Cool. Well, actually, one of the first internal events that I organized in my LBG was IPF Ghent in 2013. And I can definitely say that as seeing all the different international teams coming together and for 4 or 5 days working incredibly hard and getting more done than in several months of online work is incredibly inspirational. And it is a really, really cool event. So I highly recommend it to your LBGs. Thank you, Evie. As an update, it's now 8 o'clock and we are doing quite well on time. So we're going to take one more, let's say 1 to 2 more presentations today so that we have a bit more time if the board candidate speeches and voting runs out. So I think this secures our further days. So we will take the HR tool is cool presentation from Milica from the board. Welcome to the middle.
Hello. So maybe you remember that I said you will hear more about HR tool in 2 days. I lied. I'm sorry. Okay, too loud? Is it okay now? Okay, so let's see what we can learn about HR tool now. So what is HR tool? HR tool is a very simple tool and a simple way for you to overview your members, to track their skills and interests, and to manage your mailing list inside of PA. So where you can find PA tool, HR tool, it's actually on PA under tools, and it should be the first block. If you don't see it, that means that either you don't have access or your LBG doesn't own or your team doesn't own one of the HR tools. So what are the benefits of using HR tool? HR tool is very well structured. It already has the features that even though maybe your HR management is not inside of teams or LBGs is not developed, it has the features that will help you out to actually start structuring them and to know what you can follow and overview in your members. Recognition. So just before this, I talked about how important it is to have updated PA profiles because on international level, we are checking them in order to use this information for recruitment. It's same goes for the HR tool. So basically, we can check your HR tools and comments that you're leaving there, and that can actually help your members to get internationally involved. And yeah, recognition. So it's connected with mailing lists, as I said before. So basically, you can manage all mailing lists and access to those mailing lists to all of your members through the HR tool, which is much more user-friendly than going to each of the mailing lists and manage them separately. PA access rights. So basically, as I said before, there is opportunity that you can actually give the PA profiles to your baby members, but you can actually limit the access to only certain things like keys, and you can put some parts of PA that you don't want them to already see as out of their reach. So basically, you can give them limited access, and there is no consequences of them owning a PA profile so early in their best life, for example. KM Invest, in general, this through the HR tool, we can actually collect and knowledge on our human resources throughout the years. And it's available tool that is for free, and you can ask whenever you want for it. So there is 71 LBG that owns the HR tool. Please, everybody stand up. Like everybody. Stand up. Okay, stand up, please. So whatever LBG doesn't have, like own the HR tool, please sit down. I said those LBGs that don't own HR tool, that don't have HR tool, sit down. Okay, so I see that many of you are confused and that you actually own HR tool because there is 71 LBGs that they have, and there is more than 23 LBGs sitting, so maybe time to consider this. Then the next question goes, whom of you are not using actively HR tool? Sit down. Look around, please. Okay, everybody sit down, thank you. Less than 20% of active usage, and Heracles is not satisfied, and he is very sad. So why? I actually took some time to talk with people to see why people are not using the HR tool, and we came to a conclusion that there are two maybe main points. One is that people are not aware of how the HR tool is working, and the second one is that the major ingredient of any recipe for fear is the unknown. If you're not familiar with something, you are avoiding it. So yeah, that's the reason. HR tool, also there are gossips that HR tool is not working. It's working. So those are just excuses, and they're lame. So this year, we took some time to actually create HR tool handbook and HR tool tutorial video. Thank you, Paco. So actually the document was written and it was uploaded just before GA to PA to different places. So you can find it to archives in useful documents. Then you can find it in the welcome pack for Bortis wiki page. You can find it in the HR tool itself under help, and you can find it in help desk under fax. And yes, and HR tool tutorial video is under HR tool help, so it's already there. So you can check whenever you want this video or this handbook in order to see how you can use the HR tool, and maybe you can consider finally starting to use it so that the whole organization can have the benefit out of it. If you have any problems with accessing your HR tool, if you're not sure if you own one, or you want to open one, or whatever other problem you have with the HR tool, please send the help desk request with the type tools, and VPHR, me, will answer to it as soon as possible, and we will work out all the problems that you might have. And as wise people once said, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. So do you have maybe some questions?
1, 2, 3. I see there was a bullshit from Nish, I think, during the session, but I'm not sure you still want to take it. He cuts it. Taking bullshits during presentation, I think, is not that nice, so I didn't do it. Prague, then Podgorica.
From my own ability.
It's working right now. Either LBG Prague, I would like to ask, we grant the access to PA from baby members and for full members, but we also want to store information about observers, like their phone numbers, photos, I don't know, Facebooks. And is it possible to store them somehow there if they don't have actual NPA account?
There are two fingers from Extra Carolina.
Yes.
Do you want to answer to the question? Sure.
So, Extra Carolina, I would like to comment because we tried to do that this year in Almada. The problem with it is if you give access to observer members and then they do not pass from observer members, you cannot expel them from PA, so they become inactive, but they were never baby members. So became inactive, but they were never baby members, basically.
Regarding the answer to actually question from Prague, because this was a bit different, I would say, is that for that one you would use two different type of archives, I would say. So is that right? I mean, this storing part, maybe it's better if you discuss with Denise. But I would say that the simplest way is to actually create two separate archives.
Thank you, Prague. Then, as Podgorica has cut, the next question will be LBG Leuven. Over there. And then extra Dasha.
Hannah from LBG Leuven. We know you can restrict access to certain PA services, but we're wondering if you can restrict viewing and editing of, for example, the archives separately. Like some archives they can access and others they cannot.
I'm pretty sure yes. Dino, do you know more about this?
Dino has a clarification. Can you get the microphone?
Access right to one archives, but not.
So basically what you can do for archives themselves, Dino from IT, is to, for a specific archive, so let's say you have a full member only archive, you tie that archive to the full member mailing list. So I don't know, LBG Banana full members has access to this mailing list. So only people who are on that mailing list, which should be full members, have access to it. Clear?
Oh, okay. I see at least some thumbs down, so you might have to still clarify it afterwards. And I see a two-finger from Leuven. Please run to her. Thank you.
Hannah from LBG Leuven. I actually meant, like, can you make a difference between editing and viewing archives? So we can make some members only view and other ones also editing?
Yes, in the same manner as you can give access to an archive, you can give access to viewing, editing, deleting, adding stuff to the said archives. So you can have like one mailing list doing every member can view it, but only full members mailing list can edit this particular archive.
Thank you, Dino, for the clarifications. I remind LBGs that if a topic is getting too detailed or you don't think it's relevant for your LBG, you can raise your 3 fingers high in the air. Otherwise, I will not be cutting topics. Next question was from Extra Dasha and then LBG Cluj.
Extra Dasha, you mentioned that not every LBG owns the access to HR tool. So I'm wondering on what it depends. How is it the process is going?
It's just like we open the HR tool according to the request that we get. So basically, all the HR tools that now exist were requested at some point of time since HR tool was created as a tool. So yeah.
So LBG basically need to request it.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
And one of the first chapters of the handbook is actually explaining how you can request one.
Thank you, Dasha. Now Cluj and then Extra Adam.
Timmy from Cluj, I would like to ask, is it possible to have like kind of a track of positions in core teams or different kind of projects so the people will say who to contact or stuff like that?
For something like this, because it's can I? I know the answer.
We have 2 fingers from Denise as well.
Okay,
But you can go first.
I will give the answer, and if it's not complete, you can. So for this type of things, because they actually change quite frequently, I would say that it's better to use Task Manager, because through Task Manager you can actually create projects, and under projects, different positions and tasks. And it's connected with the HR tool. So basically, when you open the profile of this person, you can see what tasks and like positions, like responsibilities they had in the task manager. Is it clear?
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, 2 fingers from Denise.
Dennis from Board Table. We also have a tool that called Best Position Tracker that the IT department is working on. So this is also tracking the knowledge experts in specific areas, all the project coordinators, all the people worked in some specific areas. When it's finalized, you can also like use it to check people. Clarification?
Clarification, microphone behind you. Yeah.
So Timmy from Cluj, is this for LBGs as well or just for internationally involved members?
Dino will clarify again.
It's for everyone. And second thing, also what you can use is your board pages have a feature called non-boardy position, made for tracking all the non-boardy position in your LBG. Ping.
Awesome. Thank you. The last question on this round will be for Extra Adam.
Hey, Extra Adam. I heard that there is a possibility to open like genealogy tree through the HR tool, and how it looks like with adding inactive people from the past, which do not have PA yet.
The thing is, there you need to play a bit with statuses. So basically, if they're alumni that you want to put in your genealogy tree, you need to first set that they can be mentor, and then you will have the possibility to work through that through a genealogy tree. So the possibility exists even if it was from the past. But I think it's maybe a bit too into specifics, so we can talk later.
Thank you, Extra Adam. Well, HR tool is one of the kind of tools that most organizations do not have because they don't have an IT department. I saw that during most of this presentation, Dino was raising hearts, fingers, so I think he very much likes that this is being promoted. And while this kind of tool might not be perfect, I would like to remind you that the way to actually make it better is for more and more LBGs to use it and to provide your training, your feedback to the IT department. That's how we will grow in this. Thank you very much for making us aware, Milica. I see a 1 finger from the caravel. If we can quickly get the mic there.
I just wanted to say that the presentation was very effective because there's already one help desk request about HR tool from Helsinki. So good.
Thank you for keeping us updated, Pavel. Okay, so the last block of content for today would have been PM 2017 and was scheduled a lot earlier in the day. Sadly, it will not be possible to have that presentation for reasons, and Denise will update you on those. Can you maybe take a separate mic? Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm really happy that I am also taking the mic today because it was not supposed to be like this way. As you saw in your schedules, we had the PM 2017 today after lunch, and this presentation. Okay, so PM will be happening in Istanbul, Boğaziçi. They are our baby members. However, they couldn't come to GA, and they informed us about the situation on 27th of April. They said that their visa application got delayed. That's why they cannot attend to GA. The consequences of this will be followed up for sure. However, right now, what concerns us is the presentation they were supposed to make. We asked them to send us a video to making the presentation, so you would be updated. They tried. They said that they sent it last night to me. However, I never received it, and so they were talking till now about with them, and they couldn't find a way to send it. So I will try to clarify what I know from our last OM with them. However, this is not the full updated version, so please do not take it as the real statement. I had an online meeting with Gazal, the main organizer of the event, some time ago, and we were discussing about the conditions of the event. They said that they didn't choose their core team yet because some people were concerned that there is too much time till PM and they may not contribute as well as they were supposed to. So they are working on their core team, and they are still trying to decide the accommodation place. Besides, they said some good news. They are planning to have some bus shuttles from the airports to the hotel, which is super cool because they don't want you to get lost in Istanbul, which is a huge city. And besides, they are I put them in touch with Elvira, the previous main organizer of PM, the PM Warsaw. However, as far as I know, they didn't have an online meeting yet. I think it will happen kind of soon. I will push it a bit more. And that is all I know so far. If any of the Turkish LBGs heard something or know something, they can take fingers and we can have more details, but that's all I know, and this is all updates I have so far. Thank you.
1, 2, 3. We have one question or at least one finger from LBG Istanbul. And then from Extra Dragos.
Okay, hi, it's Hazal from Istanbul. This will be an informal statement, but as far as I know, accommodation place is settled, and it will be in a hotel. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you for the information.
And also, the plenary place will be involved in the hotel. I think they are arranging it like this. Good news. Thank you, Hazal.
Thank you. Extra Dragos.
Extra Dragos, during their application on a VIP, they said about a grant from university. Do you have any updates on this?
Nope. I think they will try to get some money from the university because their university is supporting them. But I don't have any updates on this issue.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Extra Dragos. Now we will have a question from Barcelona and then Coimbra.
Laura from Barcelona. My question is, so as you told us about the shuttles to Istanbul, I suppose that it's for sure the plenary place will be in Istanbul city, not somewhere around.
Okay, Istanbul is a huge city. It will be on one of the sites. It's quite far, but this is actually close place to one of the airports, like the Sabiha Gökçen Airport. It's close to that place, so like they will try to get buses from there, I think, and I think also from the other airport. They said that they are thinking about it. They are trying to arrange it, but this is not for sure because we have so much time till the PM. So they will try to arrange it. But I mean, it will be close to one of the airports for sure.
Yeah, 2 fingers, Barcelona. Please use the sign. Yeah, thank you.
Do you know which airport is the closest?
I think it's the Pendik place, right? Okay, so it's Sabiha Gökçen
Yeah,
Airport.
I see.
Sabiha Gökçen Airport.
I
but
see
it's
some 3 fingers.
Not the information.
There is time to book your tickets still. That's fine. 1 finger from Coimbra and then from Porto.
Okay, hello, Fialho from Coimbra. Since we are already discussing this topic, but we don't have much information, and Matteo said in the beginning of the block that if he didn't send the presentation by now, there will be no time. So there will be, even if they send it, still today, there will be no presentation during the whole General Assembly.
We will try to have it. However, tomorrow we have speeches which will occupy the whole day, and the other day will be voting day, which will occupy more than whole day. So I'm afraid we have no spots for it, but we will try to see, like, if we somehow manage. Of course, we would like to update you. And also the one point is that they also didn't send the PM status report that they were supposed to send before GA. I also pinged them about it. I wish we had something, but
You have 2 fingers, go.
It's just to state if they send it and there's no time, please try to send us the video on the mail.
yes, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, the last thing was please try to make time. Or
Okay,
because-
he said that if they send the video, but we cannot present it in the plenary, please send us the video so we can show it and be updated, which will we do for sure.
Okay, thank you for restating that. I think Barcelona has cut the 2 fingers about that, yes. So then it will be Porto and then Cluj.
Ruben from Porto. According to RAI, them missing the GM results in an automatic proposal for exclusion. What happens since they are hosting the PM with that proposal?
It's like not going to change what regulation says. We will have the automatic proposal for exclusion in PM Bozici.
Okay.
Thank you, Porto, for the question. Now Cluj and then extra Ola.
Timi from Cluj-Napoca. My question is if they still didn't have an online meeting with the previous coordinator, do you think it will affect the event because it's quite a long time?
I mean, as we all know, knowledge transfer is a really important process. I think it might affect them a bit since also they are baby LBGs and don't have that much of experience with general meetings. But I think they will try to do their best with catch up. And as far as I know, LBG Istanbul is also supporting them with knowledge transfer as much as they can. So I think with these both side supports, it will be done. And also I will try to help them, and the new secretary will be elected, will be in touch. So we will try to do our best to make them ready for the event.
Thank you, Cluj. Now extra Ola and then extra Dragos.
As a previous member of the core team of President's meeting in Warsaw, I'm very concerned about the situation that they have. As you said that you're not sure if they even have their accommodation. How much power, like at that point, we had almost everything set in Warsaw. How much power do you personally have, being secretary, being Turkish, or in order to speed them up or to somehow raise the awareness of them having to get their job done soon?
I am not sure, to be honest. I mean, it's like about communication. Like we had some online meetings before GA, but as I was also quite busy with organizing GA, so I will after GA, I will start really pinging them and try to be involved in their timeline and everything. So I think it will help them to speed up, and maybe we can include even LBG Istanbul to help them and speed things up. And we will see. For sure, you will be updated. I will definitely for sure push them for the report so we can see what's going on in a written report. And accommodation is settled, as LBG Istanbul clarified. They chose the place and they have it. They have the agreements. So it's kind of a cool improvement, I think, from the process.
Thank you, Extra Ola. Dragos has cut, which means that at this moment there's no further one fingers on the list, and seems to stay that way. I think we can all see that this is quite a critical issue. We don't have that much information about it now, but I'm sure that once the board has more information, then they will inform you also if it happens during the next days on this GA. So thank you, Denise.
Thank you.
Cool. So if you check your phones at this point, it is 2028, and we have finished all the content for today, as well as some of the sessions which were already scheduled for day 5 and day 6. So I think we were very efficient today. I think you kept your questions to what was important, but still managed to get a lot of information. So nice job. Please give yourself a round of applause. Now to Oscar for the closing of the day.
Hello, everybody again. It was quite an intense day, I have to say. A lot of presentations. I think we had around 30 presentations today, which is actually quite mind-blowing. Yeah, let's look at what happened today. Let's look at all the information we gathered during the day. And for that purpose, I'd like to bring up the question I asked in the morning. What would I like to learn more about? So as we did the previous days, think about it for a minute and try to write something down. So I hope now you have a topic which you found a topic which is interesting for you. Please do approach the people who delivered that topic or people within this plenary who are more knowledgeable about this topic, or perhaps approach your international evening neighbor and ask them what they think about the topic you are interested in. So this has been, this is it for now. Thank you very much.
1, 2, 3. And now for some announcements.
Announcements. I've been getting increasingly threatening messages because I promised yesterday that I'd play the jingle twice, but I didn't so far. So because I'm concerned about my safety, I'm going to play the jingle again. Announcements once more. Everybody with a silly hat to the middle of the plenary, please, for a picture after the session ends. All trainers and tutors should gather at the mattress before dinner. And now, an announcement from Christina.
Oh, Christina, Finance Officer. Please don't forget to pay your LBG debts. Especially, I want the delegates from SLBG to stand up. Gdansk, Gliwice, Grenoble, Yildiz, Moscow, Mostar, Porto, Valencia, and Wroclaw. It's not here, okay. If you have any reason that you don't have done until now, please explain to me, find me later, okay?
Yes, Prague, is it an explanation? Because I think that can be in private, but...
Yes.
Yeah, Prague, actually, I have the money from Mostar, so actually I will go and give it to you.
Okay. I'm sure you can talk with her afterwards.
Thank you, Christina. And now an announcement from Zurita.
All the facilitators from the discussion groups or sharing sessions, please try to give me tonight the slide with the outcomes so that we can meet tomorrow, and the minutes you have until tomorrow night to also give them to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zurita. All Vivaldi members and Vivaldi trainees wait in the middle of the plenary right after the end of this block. And now, the following people are summoned to the board table. Elias and Edwin. Then also, all the LBGs preparing amendments and counter-proposals to the board table to Dennis before dinner. And finally, we have an announcement from the organizers.
Can we get a microphone to organizers?
Hello, LBG delegates. This is your captain speaking. I would like to invite you all to International Evening, which will happen tonight in the dining room. It will start, of course, later in the evening, around 11:30. And this is all for now. You will learn what's going to happen inside. So buckle your seatbelts and prepare for high fly. Thank you.
Thank you, organizers.
Caravel. Caravel.
We have one finger in the back from the caravel. Let's quickly give them the mic.
Hello, Pavel from the Caravel. Can we expect the similar attractions as on United Airlines planes?
I would say that's a bullshit, but as it's Pavel, I'm never quite sure. So, one finger from Rome TV.
Can I answer? Well, if we're going to have Mongolians, and especially if LBG Gliwice would make them, you can expect that they're not gonna give you any credit, and they're gonna be hard on you.
Okay, thank you. One finger from Rome TV.
Francesco, Rome TV, of course, former capital of most of your countries. And I would like to know, when are we supposed to come to the dining room to set up our table?
Well, we expect you around 11. Of course, if the dinner ends, let's say 9:30. So we will prepare that in about an hour and a half, and then will be time for you. So I would say like half hour before the event starts, 11 p.m.
Yeah, let's have a question from St. Petersburg and then from Madrid, Carlos Tercero.
So Martin, St. Petersburg. Actually, it's more the statement. I think a lot of LBGs will write a report for the local groups because tomorrow we have like board elections. So maybe we will postpone it a bit later.
Okay. Well, we'll think about it right now, and we will let you know at the dining room during the dinner.
Yes, and we will still return all for Speaker's Corner, so we can also announce it there.
Okay, Thank you very much, organizers. And I have one more announcement or question. The organizers have distributed a set of papers in which they ask you when you would like to depart. We have lost track of those papers, so if you know where they are, please let us know.
They seem to be on that corner of the plenary.
Can you give him? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One other thing. If there are any countries that would like to participate in the international evening, which are not listed as the applicants, for example, on PA, I know we have guests from different organizations. Please come to us and inform us, so we could also create your table. And if you don't know what happens on international evening, I guess all the delegates will be happy to explain that to you.
We also have a question from Porto.
Ruben from Porto. I think the paper with the travel indications didn't pass all the way. So just one say that it's not completely filled.
Okay.
Just a quick show of hands. Who hasn't had the chance to fill in the form? Right, so it stopped there. Can I have the papers and then I'm going to send them out later, after when the break starts. Okay, so this is from me. Back to you, Matthew.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is it urgent to do now? We can also announce it after the speaker's corner, or at the beginning. Okay, do it.
Hussein from IT. Also, there was a paper for grant stuff, but it was never came here. Like, we never signed it.
Okay, 2 fingers from grants department. Let's get a microphone.
Thank you. I sent the corrected paper to the organizers, and they still need to print it, so I will pass it tomorrow, okay, during the plenary. Thank you.
Thank you. Then Denise still had an announcement.
Dennis from board. I would like to announce that we received we heard that people who want to have amendments and counter proposals having some issues because we were late during the last 2 nights. So we will extend the deadline till tomorrow first coffee break. However, there is 2 conditions we will have. So I invited all the people who has amendments or counter proposal or any change idea to approach the board table. So if you don't approach me now, I will write down on your name to a list. If your name or your LBG is not on the list, your change will not be accepted. So please, come here right after plenary closes, so we can take care of everything and we can clarify everything together. Thank you so much.
Cool. I think those were all the announcements. After the dinner, we do have the speaker's corner. For those of you who have not seen one, this is a way more chill session than what we mostly have in GMs. I know what the list of topics is. I think they are quite fun. They're quite inspirational as well. Is this a critical question, Konas? No, let's wait a bit with it. Yeah, so there's some people who have put a lot of effort into these presentations. I think you will very much enjoy them. Thanks for your attention today. We had a lot of updating presentations, a bit less feisty than yesterday, but I hope you learned a lot, and let's see you back at 45 for the Speaker's Corner.
We need to clean the table for Speaker's Corner as well. Yeah. We need to clean the table for Speaker's Corner as well.
Sorry. I'm here because of Mostar.
Okay.
Actually, the people from Mostar sent it after Edwin, I guess. He gave me the money because he was thinking they owe it to our LBG, but he gave it to me in zlotys. It's like 15 euros, right?
Guess I don't remember by heart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's